All right, hey everybody. So I haven't been making videos for the past few weeks for a couple of reasons. And one of the reasons is because I feel like I've been, the way I started social media was I'm definitely grateful how I started, but the way I continued it and where I got just didn't sit right with me as far as like the type of audience I'm attracting and where I want to go in the direction I want to go with my content and what do I want to do with my content, because essentially I want to make a living off of this and off of helping people and through what I feel like my passion is and a whole bunch of other things, because I don't want to box myself in. So shout out to my shout out to Jake Seals. He's definitely helped me a little bit. He's contacted me a few times, but he definitely helped me with this one video that I saw that I could right here, show it right here. And yeah, I've been just locked in for the past couple weeks, just writing so many things. It's like I have so many ideas and it's so exciting. And I think now's the time for me to start posting, just because I always knew what type of direction I wanted to go in my content, but I didn't really understand how to do it. And luckily, I've been learning more and more about business and what I feel like I need to do to put myself in the position I need to put myself in. So yeah, with that being said, in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about my story, and this is just the first video I'm going to put out, and we'll go from here. We'll build from here. So, yeah, I just been wanting to talk about my story and who I am as a man, as an individual, instead of you just seeing a whole bunch of videos of me doing a whole bunch of stuff without really knowing what I want, where I'm coming from, and who I am, who is Jay, which is me, my name. So yeah, I'll start off with kind of saying where I'm at right now, and then I'll just give a storyline about how I got here. So right now I am a college student, and I go to the university. No, not university. I go to the Maryville College here in Tennessee, Maryville, Tennessee, 30 minutes south of Knoxville, where the University of Tennessee is at. And I am here to, well, I got here to play baseball originally. That was the motive. And luckily, I came here because I've been learning a lot more about business. Kind of knew stuff in the past about business, and the people around me that I surround myself with help me as long, like with understanding business and whatnot. But yeah, so I play baseball here at Maryville, and I am trying to, well, I'm a marketing major. So, yes, like entrepreneur, motivated, got that hustler mindset, all that. And I really want to take a business approach with my social media. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So, originally, I started playing baseball, I'd say seriously, when I was 12 years old. And I met this coach of mine back home because I originally was born and raised in New York, and started playing baseball when I was 12. Met this guy, my coach, father figure. His name is Jose Reyes, and I love that guy to death. I'll definitely talk about him more in other videos because he's definitely helped me get to where I'm at to today in many different aspects. So yeah, started with him, started baseball, and I realized that I wanted to become a professional baseball player. Yes, at the age of 12, probably even earlier than that. But yeah, 12 is when I really started to learn baseball the professional way. And what I've learned from when I was 12 all the way to I don't know, when I before I left to I was 16. So my mindset, my relentless mentality, understanding what competing is. Every I learned so much about myself because of baseball in those early years when I met that man, and I was just surrounded by good ball players that also had the same motives of playing baseball at a high level, just like I did. And I just found my way to uh, surround myself around the best people. And I also try to listen as much as I could because I wanted to make the most out of my opportunity. So that's when I got into the gym and I started working out around that time, like 13 years old. I also yeah, I got into fitness, got into understanding what more so what health is, what like nutrition and all that, and how that helped me really understand a lot of things that I needed to understand so I could, I don't know, just put myself in the best position because I had that dream of becoming a professional baseball player. So when I was 16, that's like COVID kind of 16, 17, and COVID hit and I realized I needed to reclass so I could get a better opportunity to go to a school that I wanted to go to or just put myself in a better position. And that's when I made the decision to go to P27 Academy in South Carolina. And I don't even know where to start. This is, oh my gosh, this story has a lot of layers, but I just got to get this video out just because it's really good for me and I'll know where to go. So basically, P27 Academy to me was a year, 2 years. So I went my senior year of high school and I took a gap year after that. And for the people that don't know what baseball academy is or even reclassing, you go to a school for your sport, which was for me was baseball, to put myself in a better position to get more looks by scouts and play at a higher level and get better mentally, physically, in any which way possible. So when it comes to for me to get committed or whatever to a school, I will be advanced or I would just put myself in a better position to compete for a spot on my team in college. So I went there and I spent 2 years there. I learned so much, a lot. My first year, um, when I got there, I was, gosh, I just learned a lot about myself. I had a lot of anxiety when it came to performing and what I wanted to do. And I put in all the work. I worked out. I put in all the hours in the weight room. I did everything I had to do at the field, stayed hours and hours and hours to try to get better at baseball so I could become a professional baseball player. And I took all this time and invested it on the things I felt like I needed to focus on so I could become the best I could be. And so I didn't know that I was battling with anxiety and like what I didn't even know at the time what anxiety was. I just uh, didn't understand how it limited me from performing at the level I knew I could perform at. And because because of that, the first year I didn't play as good as I wanted to, as I knew I could, because I just felt like, I don't know, when you have anxiety, like personally, I was in, I would go to the cages, I would go to the field. Everything I did, I felt like eyes were on me and people were criticizing me. People didn't think I was good enough. At times, it got to the point where I felt like I had doubts and I didn't feel like I was good enough in certain aspects. And it just made a, I don't know, spiraled into um, something that I didn't know I needed help in, so I can essentially get better at what I wanted to get better at. So my first year, I got injured my hamate bone. No, it was my left hand. I got injured my hamate bone, so I missed that summer, and that was horrible. I just thought, I mean, I was at B27, so I had a good idea that I was going to go to a good school, but I missed like a really important summer for me. So, but it is what it is. So, going forward after that, my second year at P27 is when a real good friend of mine named Joey Picano uh, really reminded me about a lot of things that I knew unconsciously. So that's when I got into like understanding what the laws of the universe are or is, and because of that, I got introduced to the book the Law of Attraction by Jerry and Esther Hicks. I think, yeah, Jerry and Esther Hicks, if I could remember. And I read that book. Gosh, I have so many. Let me show you guys. When I started reading that book, I bought this journal, but I also bought this journal. So I was writing in both journals, but I was using this one to write about things I would learn from the book. So I would like jot down and take notes on things I feel like I needed to write down because I needed to focus on these things so I can get better at it, because I was lacking in a lot of aspects when it came to attracting the things that I wanted. And that also affected me on the field, which like took a big toll on me. And I was like, all right, if I want to get better at this sport, if I want to get better at this sport, I need to do whatever it takes. And this, through all of these things that I was learning, and at the time I was watching podcasts, hours and hours and hours and hours of podcasts, and reading that book. And I also read this other book, this brain spotting book that I really highly recommend, because around that time it got so bad to the point where I was like low key I was depressed, and I was getting all these negative thoughts that would come into my mind because, like I said, and this anxiety thing was like I was becoming more and more aware of it. So it was becoming harder and harder for me to understand myself and understand what it is going on in Jay's brain. But I'm just so grateful all this happened. But so yeah, I was just educating myself, trying to learn, so I can find a better way of living for me and myself, and feeling comfortable in my own skin. And so yeah, started documenting things in my journal. Um, that was when I was 17, turning 18, and I was writing all these things, my thoughts, how I felt, everything that I was learning. The brain spotting book helped me go back to the first negative thought I've ever had in my life. And I jotted from then on, I jotted every single thing that was bothering me in my head. And that helped me so much. And all these things helped me so much to alleviate and understand my past and kind of find who I am as an individual. And um, it's kind of like the time around where I started to build a relationship with myself. So I went to P27, And 2 years, boom. Then I found my way all the way from South Carolina to Tennessee, or reversed, uh, to Tennessee, and I went to Montlow. So Montlow is a community college in Tennessee, south, little South Tennessee, like an hour south of Nashville. And it's Montlow State Community College, and this is where I spent my first 2 years of college. Those 2 years, another amazing time. Like all these things, like you guys will know more and more how this story has made me as an individual, and how I've found, or when I started this journey of becoming the man that I want to become, and that journey that will never end because it does not end. So, yeah, now I'm in Maryville College, 2 years there. My first year, um, I was still battling the same things of anxiety and not so much depression anymore, because as you get on this wave of learning law of attraction, laws of the universe, and all these great beautiful things, you kind of start getting closer to your faith and understanding what our creator, or what God is to you. So it's like amazing, and I've kind of passed that understanding, or like that, those negative thoughts of like depression. Not even like, it got so bad to the point where I got a thought of damn near committing suicide, or actually committing suicide one time. I literally remember where I was and what I was doing. And I'm just so grateful that around that time I like learned about all those things, and my buddy has helped me. Like I own that man is like so sick, dude. Like um very grateful for Joey. But yeah, so boom, me and Maryville. Oh, did I tell you around this time I'd had a girlfriend so I was 16 all the way to 20 or 21. So around all that time I had a girl. She was great. I had a girlfriend from then. P27, 2 years. I went to community college. I was with her my whole entire first year. Everything was great with her, but I was always trying to get better mentally, always trying to see how can I get better so I can achieve my goal, which is becoming a professional baseball player. I mean, going to the field for hours. We like the resources that we had were, it was like JUCO ball. It's like the cages were damn near not even cages. Like we had no lights. Our gym was only open when for certain hours, and only a coach had to be in there with us so we could work out. But I always found a way. Like I would, oh my gosh, I could put a picture up right here. I think I have of me putting a tee. It snowed there one time, and I put a tee on my bed, and I had wiffle balls, and I was hitting my wiffle balls into a pillow, because like this, that was it was everything to me to become a baseball player, a professional baseball player. And it was showing. I was doing whatever I could to do it. And so yeah, and I played there my first year, didn't get much playing time, uh which was all right. Like, is what it is. I tried to work my ass off. I was a freshman, but um at the end of the year I was like, should I have redshirted, should I have not, whatever. It is what it is. I had a certain amount of ABs. I played a little bit. I felt like I should have played more, but what can you do? I was at that point, I had grown enough to understand, uh, not to blame anybody for the position that I am in. I would always reflect back on myself. What could I have done better so I could have played more, or I could have done this or this better, so my next year could go better and I could continue on this journey of becoming a professional baseball player. And that's what I was doing. So, boom, my first year ended. I met great people. I met probably my best friend to this day. I've known him for years, and we're actually in the same school together, senior year, doing our last year here and playing baseball together last year. But yeah, I met some great people my first year who, in turn, my second year would become one of my bestest of friends. Like these guys, we went through fucking hell together. Like JUCO ball is not easy. Like the things that we've gone together and what we did together as a group, like dude, you can't buy that. You can't buy those experiences anywhere. You just have to go through them and to understand like we just went through so much and I've grown so much and learned so much because of the situations we were in that I give so much credit to every single point in my journey of me becoming the man that I am. So, boom, I was there second year, played a little more, things were great, and felt like I should have played more again. I didn't get as many at bats as I wanted to. I ended up hitting pretty good for both years, but like I said, if I would have hit more for like, or if I would have got more of a opportunities, I would have had more stats or whatnot. But I still around this time I made it my business to like post and try to get my name out there so I can go to a good school, and started to talk to a few schools. And throughout that process, landed on I've committed super late. Like then again, I have my mindset on becoming a professional baseball player. So I thankfully to my our assistant coach, he helped me find Maryville College where I'm at right now. And I was literally on vacation, or not even on vacation. I was in Dominican Republic for a family emergency because, and I was on the, I was like communicating with my assistant coach of like, all right, we're gonna figure it out where we're gonna go, blah blah blah. And he told me about Maryville College, and I was over there, and I was whatever. So when I came back home, I got on a call with our head and assistant coach, and it was a FaceTime call. A FaceTime call, that's how my visit was. I was like, I'm not going down there, but if it looks good, it sounds good, and it did look good, and it did sound good, and they sold it to me. Like I was like, boom, I'm all in, I'm going. Um, I didn't really need much of a recollection, understanding, a really good understanding of like anything else as far as is the baseball good? How's the program look? Am I gonna is this gonna put me in a position to get better? And it's D3 baseball, so I committed to D3 here in Maryville, Tennessee, and that was probably one of the best decisions I could have possibly made. Why? Because I wouldn't be here talking to you if it weren't for that. And I wouldn't have this. I've grown so much from last year because I'm a senior this year. So last year was my junior year. So I got here, my junior year, boom. I still had that in my mind on becoming a professional baseball player. And I stuck with that. I worked so hard every day. I did something. I was going to the gym 5, 6, almost 7 times a week. I was going to the cages. I was trying to figure it out on my own. Dude, my roommate was a pitcher, and I would tell him to come and feed me buckets and buckets of baseballs down by the cages, just so I could find whatever it is that I was trying to find, trying to get better, trying to get better at my craft, trying to perfect whatever it is that I wanted, whatever it was that I was trying to perfect at the time, my swing, just trying to simplify things and be the best player that I could be. So boom, first season went. And again, I didn't play as much as I wanted to, but I've always self-reflected. Why am I having these experiences? Why am I putting myself in these positions? Like, how can I get better and do whatever it is that I need to do to achieve and get to where I want to get to? And I was trying around this time. I was trying to play summer ball in a good league because I felt like at this point I got to the level that I got individually, and I felt like, bro, I could compete against anybody, any type of competition. Like, I can compete. I feel like I am good, just as good or even better than the competition that I am going against. So tried to play in the summer, and I ended up playing for this some type of team back home, which just got me exposure. Not really got me exposure, but just kept me playing and just keeping my skills sharp. I didn't really face good competition, and it wasn't really a good league at all. But it's okay, right? It is what it is. After that, I went back. So I started making content. I made my first video. It was my first video. I was cutting hair. I made that last in the spring because I was like, I don't know why I got into it, but I just felt like, oh, like I'm gonna start making videos. A big reason why I started making videos was because of the Run Club Raw Dog, and I found out about a few guys that are influencers on that in that run club, and I was like, I carried that thought from the summer and on. I was like, how would it be cool to make videos, make money out of doing what it is that I love? Because the gym has always been something that I loved from I was a kid. Probably should have mentioned this in the beginning of the story, but when I was a kid, first I was watched my dad growing up working out. He started when he was 13, probably 14, I don't know, 13, 14, around there. He started working out. And when I was a kid, I always saw him working out at home because we had a gym at home. And I always saw him just hitting the weights, being active, taking his fitness serious, taking his health serious. His physique has always been insane. So when I turned 12, I started taking that serious as well. And along that whole time, throughout this whole journey, the gym has always been there for me in the sense of I grew so much in the gym. So much of my change as a man has been in the gym. It's been very therapeutic for me. I've learned so much about myself throughout this all, and whenever I would feel everything that I was feeling when I was back when I was 15, 16, 17, 18, even 19, or even in JUCO ball, like the gym has always been there when I was going through things. Like I could remember so vividly to this day back then when I would be in the gym and I would have anxiety and all those things. I would literally work out, and my breath would be like, it would be so hard for me to breathe because how bad my anxiety was. And my breath was always like that whenever I would perform, practice, anything, because I felt like, and again, everybody was looking at me. And I always thought to myself, well, around this time, like, yeah, so I was breathing heavy, and I would just work out. And it was just so therapeutic because I've learned so much about myself, and it gave me such a it was just like such a good reward after it that I can't really explain it now, but you will know the way I feel about the gym more and more as I make videos. And I'm already 30 minutes. Anyways, whatever. I'm posting this on Instagram. I'm not even gonna cut this, and I'm gonna post it on YouTube because I need to continue this, and people need to know more about Jay. So yeah, so started making videos in last spring, and I came out with my first video working out, and I'll put it right here. And I was like, dude, I was like, the summer came, and I was like, all right, God, I'm gonna be realistic with myself. Do I want to continue playing baseball after college? And took a lot of time thinking about it, contemplating, trying to find the answer, right? And I just said, hey, I'm going to continue doing what I have to do uh, to help my team win. I'm going to do what I have to do to be there for the guys that need me because I'm a senior. I have a good understanding of what playing at a high level baseball is because I've played around ACC, SEC guys like that whole time I was in P27. I understand a lot what it's like to be around people that also play at a high level. I've competed at a high level, faced really good pitching. So in P27 and in JUCO ball, because that league, that conference in Tennessee is insane. Like really, really good, underrated, I would say. Um, but yeah, so mm, mm, mm. started making videos. I asked myself, did I want to continue playing? So I was like, all right, well, be there for my team. I do the best that I can. When I'm on the field, I respect the game too much to get on the field and not give it my all, even if my dream is not to be a professional baseball player, because I genuinely enjoy baseball. I enjoy baseball like 100 times. So yeah, I started making videos over the summer. I try to be a little more consistent, and there was at one point I was like, all right, boom. All right, if I want this, I'm gonna post a video every day. So I started posting every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. And from then until the fall, which is like recently, like a few months ago, I was posting every day, and I just needed a change. I needed a change, but I realized like, all right, maybe I don't want to play baseball anymore. And that was so super, super tough for me to come down to realization and ask myself that question. But right now, um, since I started making these videos and my passion is fitness, and I really want to help people through my passion. And I know I am because I've done all this work, and there's just no way that I'm not going to do this because I don't know. It's just like I'm gonna connect with so many people, the relationships I'm gonna have, the type of deals that are gonna come my way. I just see it, I envision it, and I know it's gonna be so good. But a big motive of this whole thing is like, damn, how can I do something that I love and make a living off of it? And then on top of that, help other people. That is like, dude, what? I'm like, I can do that. And I've been following all these influencers and trying to learn and really do this the way I want to do it. And I feel like I don't want to pay for courses. I feel like I've wanted to in the past, but I feel like I could just do this thing on my own. And um, I feel like the journey will be that much more rewarding as I achieve certain things if I just figure it out along the way. So yeah, I guess that's like where I'm at now. And it's like 34 minutes right now, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, if you watch this whole video and you're at the end, that means you are really invested in my story. And yeah, like now I made the first video and I have all like my branding aspects and what I'm going to do going forward. So the approach I'm going to have on what I'm going to, the type of content I'm going to be making is going to be different. I can't wait to attract like all these great people that are on the same path as me, physically, mentally, spiritually. Um, and yeah, like I am super excited to grow and change along with all the people that want to do it with me. And yeah, so thank you everybody for watching. If you've made it to this point in the video, um, your boy's trying to make a living here in the next 3 months. Like, I feel like I could do it. I feel like I could make a living in the next 3 months. I build up my following to where it's at. I'm taking a different approach now. I've considered myself a professional always, but I'm learning and I'm taking more of a business aspect because I am a business major. I am an entrepreneur, and I cannot wait where this is gonna go. So, anyways, I gotta stop talking. You guys will know as I make these videos, I will learn more and more to be more effective in what I have to say because I could yap and talk for hours and hours. But yeah, so thank you for watching. If you've watched all the way till now, and stay tuned if you want to grow and change and become a better version of yourself. And this is where you're going to do it here with me, Jay Pichardo, Soy JP. Thank you guys. Until next time, peace.